Welcome to Resiliency in the College Classroom.
We will address classroom etiquette as well as proper communication with your professor.
Give me a break.
Turn it off. Why do you think having a cell phone in class would annoy a professor?
If I'm here talking to you, as I am right now, and you are down here talking to somebody else, essentially what you're doing is ignoring me, which is going to leave a very negative impression upon me as your professor.
So for the entire class period, leave your phone alone. So we boiled it down to 3 different types of professors and their cell phone policies. Number 1, no, don't do it. Don't text in class, just don't even have them out. 2, sometimes you can have it in class, put it on vibrate, still don't text, but sometimes your professor might ask you to research something. And 3, they didn't say. They weren't clear in their syllabus, but err on the side of caution and just don't have them out.
When you first walk in the building, get in the habit of turning your phone on vibrate. If you know you need to make a call during class, just let your professor know beforehand that you're going to need to step out into the hall.
Laptops!
3 things to remember about laptops. 1, ask your professor first. Your eyes are going to be pointed down at a screen. The professor is going to be looking at you. That can be a bad look. 2, try to sit to the side of the classroom or closer to the back. Screens can be very distracting for people behind you. And 3, please, type quietly.
Food.
Who raised you, man? Oh, God.
Here are 3 reasons why eating in class can be distracting.
It's noisy.
It stinks.
It can actually be insensitive. Some students in the room may not have had the time or actually the money to get food that day. And other people may just have food aversions or allergies.
However, healthy food can help you focus and give you energy in class.
Ugh. There's a quiz today?
It's on the syllabus.
What's on the test?
It's on the syllabus.
Do I have to buy the book?
It's on the syllabus.
Was there homework?
It's on the syllabus.
Will there be a review?
It's on the syllabus.
When's the paper due?
It's on the syllabus. No textbook.
Mm-mm.
No notebook.
Nope.
No pencil.
Not a one.
And it's really, really aggravating when students pack up while you're still trying to talk to them 10 minutes before the end of class.
Ow.
In family emergencies, professors don't believe that excuse anymore, even if it is true. So just be honest.
And last but not least, read the instructions.
After all that, if you can only remember one thing, follow instructions.
Communication!
A very common and rather puzzling mistake students make is to confuse emails with text messages.
You need to learn a different style of writing in order to not only be clear, but be professional.
All of the following examples are actual emails from students.
Okay, so I'm going to read the first one exactly how it's written. Hi, Mr. Ron told me you wanted to talk to me. Sorry I wasn't in class today, wasn't feeling well. I think the one thing that bugs me the most is the title that was given to this professor, Hi, Mr. And I don't think it's Hi, Mr. Ron. I think it's Hi, Mr. And then Ron told me you wanted to talk to me.
Yes, that's exactly what it
So Hi, Mr. It already bothers me a little bit.
Because it implies that you don't remember the name of your professor or how, more importantly, how that professor was asked to be addressed. So you need to know that. And again, this is something as a professor, you'd be surprised how many people don't actually know your name. So please learn the name of your professor. Aside from that, let's just say for some reason they actually wanted to be addressed as Mr. It's not capitalized, and there's no comma. And again, it sounds like Mr. Ron. Most likely this was sent from somebody's phone who was, texting with most likely typing with their thumbs, like it was a text message, which would make sense that this sounds like a text message, because maybe you'd look at this as a person reading a text message and you'd put in the punctuation yourself. But this is an email, which is a completely different form.
And I think one final thing about the content. Ron told me you wanted to talk to me. Probably in this scenario, an email isn't the most appropriate way to address this professor. Maybe they should have just talked to the professor after class.
Or the next day, obviously, when they weren't in class, because the second sentence, sorry I wasn't in class today, wasn't feeling well, while it is brief and brief is good, that comes across as pretty terse and kind of dismissive. Like, sorry I wasn't in class, wasn't feeling well.
So don't send the email at all. Just talk to your professor the next day in class.
Yeah, and just say, hey, I wasn't feeling well. I had to stay home. Can I stay after? Again, then making an effort is really what needs to be, because this does not imply effort, really.
Okay, so here's another gem.
So's for being a day late. I forgot about it and decide to take the shift for work.
What?
All right.
Sorry?
Yeah. The first word is supposed to be sorry. Now, again, if you're texting your friends, SARS or whatever, the
Any variation
thereof, totally understand what that means.
Check your spelling before you send a text.
It's not
to your
even
professor.
spelling. It's like this person who you're speaking to, or writing to, may not understand what that means.
Forget.
Yeah. Lowercase I. If this is this was sent to an English professor, if you're not capitalizing the letter I, you gotta understand that that's gonna really tick them off. Like anybody's gonna. It's again. It's the difference between informal and formal. This is about being a professional, because this is somebody hopefully who will write you a recommendation in a few months.
So 2 more things. There is no in this particular email. There's no title at all. There's no introduction. There's no hi.
Nope.
That's frustrating.
One line.
And then the content, sorry for being a day late. I'm assuming it was a paper or something they were supposed to turn in.
I forgot about it. So you're admitting that you forgot about an assignment, which to a teacher is kind of a slap in the face.
Don't admit that.
And then I decided to take a shift for work. So you're basically declaring to your professor, who from then on for the rest of the semester is going to presume that work takes precedent over school, which...
So maybe in the future it could have been, I apologize for this late paper. I'll try harder in the future.
Anything
other than
anything other than this. You're basically this person was not again writing informally and not grammatically correct, and 2, it was insulting. Even if it wasn't meant to be insulting, it comes across as insulting without any. If this person were speaking face to face, it probably wouldn't be insulting, but in the context it is. Third one. All right.
Go right ahead.
Hey, Prof, this is Mike. Just wanted to email you and apologize for missing class, and I will be missing tomorrow's class as well. With that being said, I know I have missed and will be missing out on valuable information, so I wanted to ask if there is anything really vital that I missed and can make up. I'm not the type to miss class, just on Monday, so I can bring my dog to the vet for an ear infection. Tomorrow I am scheduled to do the state trooper exam. Please don't misinterpret this as an excuse, but rather an apology. If it's late to make up anything, I understand. Please, thank you very much.
Oh boy. Where do you begin with this one?
It's too.
It's rambling.
long.
Rambling.
Yeah.
Don't misinterpret this as an excuse. The whole thing is an excuse. It's not it's
Let's just make that point right now. If you're sending emails and your emails, if the guts of your email is just an excuse, save it. Do it in person.
Yeah, don't send it.
Don't send excuse emails.
Would you want to read that?
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. If you're ever trying to explain your way out of something and you're doing it in writing in an email without any of the facial expressions, body language, and actual sort of eye contact that are necessary to really to really explain yourself and to not come across as somebody who's ungrateful for the effort, do it in person. Aside from that, again, hey, lowercase prof, period. Again, doesn't know the person's name.
Hey, Prof.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's a letter. You got to make it look like a letter.
So here's a template you can use. You can copy, paste it, fill it in when you're emailing your professor. This is what a professor wants to see.
The greeting. Hi, professor. Fill in the blank name. Comma. Hit enter, and then get straight to the point. Your question or your statement.
Keep it simple.
The simplest. And it's so easy, and it gets the job done.
Don't beg or make excuses either.
Yeah.
It never comes across well in writing.
You can't articulate your facial expressions or your eye contact on the screen. It always comes across as cloying or worse, that you don't care.
Don't be like Mike.
Nope.
Make a paragraph for each point, even if it's only one sentence long.
Yeah. Or, and honestly, if you're going more than 3 sentences with one of your points, you're going too long. So keep 3 sentences, 1 to 3 sentences, have that be your limit.
No run-ons, use apostrophes, use capital letters.
Pay attention to grammar and spelling. If it means you ask somebody else to take a look at it beforehand, just do it. It's a couple extra minutes and it'll pay off.
Show your professor that you care.
It's not a text message. It's a professional letter.
And in the end, sign off, say thank you.
Best regards.
Sincerely.
Some form of punctuation after whatever that is. And then your whole name. For instance, if it's a very large class, they may not know your name yet, so they want to be able to look up your name on the roster. Let's review. Phones. Leave them alone.
Laptops. Ask your professor first.
Food. Avoid it unless you know you need it, and if you do need it, keep it healthy and smell-free.
In class, read the instructions and be prepared.
Lastly, communicate like a professional.